Liverpool versus everybody. As you can see, it is me and Onyx. Onyx is back. We have a special guest today, friend of ours, Liverpool fan, Nasir. Nasir, say what's up to everybody, man.
Appreciate it. Nice to meet you guys.
Glad to have
Glad to
you
be
on.
here.
Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't get any of the true Man United fans to come on. They kind of chickened out at the last minute, which that's kind of interesting, but no surprise really.
No
Um,
surprise at all, huh?
Nasir, just overall, man, our season as a whole. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about where we are now under Klopp from the start of the season to now? Getting to the quarterfinals of the Europa League, battling for second in the league now. Just give me some of your opinions of how you feel about the team where we are now.
I have to say, I'm impressed. I mean, started out a little slow, and things have been picking up, and definitely happy with the Champions League performance against Porto. That was a big 5-0 victory for sure. Can't knock that. I mean, if Man City wasn't on their tear of a season, we'd be right there for first place. So, I mean, it's been a great season so far, huh?
Yeah, City's kind of set a pace, but you want to say something?
To me, I didn't see the game, but I knew what the score was. To me, it's not a big deal that we tied that 0-0
Mm-hmm.
because we're still ahead of them.
True, good
Head of
point.
who?
Yeah.
I mean, because we still have more points than
Then
them.
who?
Than Porto.
Oh, Porto. Yeah, but Porto's not in the Premier League. They're just
Uh,
they're in another league.
but in the top.
So going into this game, is there anybody from Man United necessarily that you fear? Is there any player that you feel like can hurt us, or we need to kind of watch out for, or anybody at all that you
Definitely.
can think of? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched a few United matches this season, and every time I watch them play, I feel like Lingard. Lingard stands out to me, and he always scores a goal or two. He's sneaky, and Martial as well. I mean, those two guys, I got my eye on them tomorrow, so definitely want to lock those guys up for sure.
It's funny you say that. That's Lingard is a guy who I was speaking about as well. He's definitely not anybody you would think of as world class, but for some
Right.
reason, he's one of them guys that comes in, whether it's off the bench or starting, who really, really gives them some. Um, he gives them some effort, some energy, and he scores goals. Believe it or
Yeah.
not, that he ends up doing that. I don't know how, why, whatever, but he's a guy that to me is a problem. I find it interesting that you didn't mention Lukaku.
I'm not. I
Um,
don't feel Lukaku at all, really. I mean,
right.
he's been a disappointment for me, and even Alexis Sanchez, I haven't seen what I would have liked from him so far. I mean, he just hasn't. I mean, maybe he hasn't meshed yet. It's still early. I mean, even
Hmm.
Pogba, even Pogba. I mean, I'm not sure if Mourinho just is not getting the best out of him, or his style does not mesh with the way they're playing. But they got the pieces. I mean, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like you under a different manager maybe with those kind of pieces, you would expect some better performances. And listen, we can say what we want about Man United, but at the end of the day, they are ahead of us. We got to remember that.
That's true.
So they've done enough to be where they are now. And one question I wanted to put to you and just some of our subscribers, people that are watching, is that if Klopp was a defensive manager, let's say if Klopp was Mourinho, let's say we had
Okay.
Mourinho, and we were winning trophies here and there and in second place right now, because the thing we got to admit is that Mourinho knows how to win. We don't
This is
have to
true.
like his. He don't like to like his tactics. It could be boring, but he gets wins. So
He's got the silverware.
yeah, from one Liverpool fan to another, if we had a coach like Mourinho, or we had Mourinho, and he was doing that, but also winning trophies and being high in the table, would you have a problem with that, or would you feel like, you know what, we're winning trophies, we're relevant, we're high in the table. I mean, City's got this, but we're high in the table. We're the next best team. Or would you feel like, this kind of football is boring. I don't like it. I'd rather him be a little more attacking.
I think, I mean, in all honesty, I think I would think it's boring. I mean, I would appreciate the victories, but when I think of United, I've watched some boring United matches. I've watched them park the bus and just play purely defensive football. I love
Hmm.
Liverpool's style. I mean, it's exciting.
Hmm.
Even some of the close losses, maybe that would be ties or victories if we just parked the bus and kind of hung out on defense. I like every bit about it. I mean, these 5-0 victories, these ultra aggressive attacking styles, it's contagious. I mean, it's a joy to watch.
Well said. I agree with that.
Um,
Go ahead.
I don't necessarily um if we're winning games, that's all I want from Liverpool. I'm winning trophies. That's it. I don't really care if it's a boring game or not.
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk about getting Marino. Because I like Klopp.
Yeah, no,
Definitely.
we're not getting it. That's not gonna happen. I mean, especially at Marino.
But you have to think about what if we have Moreno, would we have Mane, Salah, and Bobby Firmino right now?
Maybe
That's a good
not.
point.
Probably
That's a good
probably
point.
not. Probably not. And that's the thing I wanted to
Right.
segue in. So I'm glad you said that. Is that it's the Klopp factor because you think about a lot of the
Yeah.
players that we have.
No acting.
Mane, we knew he was good at Southampton, but nobody was really looking at him. But look at what he's
Right.
doing now. I know he's had
He's a beast.
depending on who you ask, some Liverpool fans will say, "Oh, he's having a bad season because he's not doing as well as he did last season." I think that's being a bit overshadowed by Salah and his output and his consistency and how crazy he's going, goals, assists, whatever, just his presence. But even Salah, he was supposed to be like a waste man from
Yeah.
Chelsea. Mourinho again, he finds his way in this conversation. He didn't want him, just like he didn't want De Bruyne, just like he didn't want a lot of players from Chelsea that went on to do really well. So I want to big up Klopp right now because I think even Oxlade-Chamberlain, people,
Yeah.
a lot of
I like
Arsenal
that.
fans,
I like that
yeah,
signing.
a lot of Arsenal fans were laughing at us saying we paid too much. But Chamberlain is playing in the position that he promised himself, promised everybody he wanted to play. He's doing that
Right.
midfield. He's doing really well for us. And look at the team he came from. What Arsenal is doing right now, they're going to miss the top 4 this year. So at the end of the day, it's the Klopp factor. Tell me one player that Klopp has brought in who hasn't, impressed. Even look at Karius right now. He didn't start so well, but he's doing really good now.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's
so
true.
he's, I think a lot of people talk about Pep and how he's attractive to players, and I think Klopp is right up there. And Klopp has a way. Go ahead.
Klopp is good, but I don't like to compare what's his name, Guardiola to Klopp because I think they have different styles of playing. But I think Pep is a good coach, but I just like Klopp being our Liverpool's coach.
Yeah, I think he fits right into the people.
Because I feel like that was Pep's plan to win a lot of games, smash a lot of teams, and then they could just chillax.
Well, see, that's the thing because they do smash a lot of teams because a lot of teams aren't, excuse my language, but they're not as ballsy as Klopp is. We didn't fear City.
Ballsy?
Not at all.
They aren't as confident. They aren't as kind of. They're not willing to kind of take a chance and play against City. Like Liverpool was the only team that really came out and put it to City. That we matched them blow for blow. And at the end of the day, if that's the only blemish they have, you can thank Liverpool for doing that because no other team really faces them with any kind of confidence. Most teams, they play back and they hope to maybe catch them on a counter and maybe finish the game with a draw. There's no team but Liverpool. And I know we kind of messed up at the end there and ended up being 4-3, which kind of, I think, flattered City more than us because it made it seem like I thought we dominated that game until the last, 5-10 minutes, whatever, they got those goals back.
Right, but City was really dominated for the most part.
Yeah, we totally did. I think a lot of people think I'm crazy for saying that, but that means something. That's not just like you happen to beat City. No, we came and we went blow to blow, blow for blow with them, and no other team does that. No other team does that with City. Everybody else, including Mourinho, plays this kind of like scared, like safe, don't want to lose football tactics kind of thing. So. I'm just really proud of where we are right now. I see really, really good things happening with Liverpool. We're a long way from Brendan Rodgers. At one point, they were comparing Brendan Rodgers and saying that, Klopp's not doing any better than Brendan Rodgers, but he clearly is. He's clearly doing better. Just his reassuring of certain players. Yeah.
But also, if we had Moreno, would we have Naby Keita? I mean, there's a lot of players that we wouldn't have if there was no Klopp right now.
Yeah, no. That's a very good point. I mean,
even
Van
Dijk. We got Van Dijk.
Oh, man.
I mean, that was a surprising pick.
I mean, we get teased about that. Oh, you paid $75 million for a center back. Listen, this day and age, if you want a certain player,
You got to pay
you
for
got to
him.
go
Huh?
get him.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Huh?
You got to go get him. And sure, on paper, and we might tease another club for paying that much money, but at the end of the day, he's a top, in my opinion. I'm sure you agree. He's a top center back, and
Yeah.
we needed to address that position, and we did it. So to me, it didn't really matter what we paid. My personal opinion is that Van Dijk was always going to come to us. That what happened in the summertime was unfortunate and embarrassing for the club, but I felt like he was going to come at some point, and I feel like he came just before the January transfer window. To be honest, it was already signed, sealed, and delivered. It was already done. So, segueing into Coutinho, I got to ask you. First of all, your initial feelings when you found out he was leaving. Did you feel like, oh Lord, we're in panic mode now. We don't have Coutinho. We're not going to be able to win certain games. We won't finish final. Because a lot of our fans thought that once Coutinho left, then we were done. So I'm curious to know what you thought about that.
Yeah, once he left, I was surprised how quickly he did leave. I thought he would stay, at least maybe leave in the summer transfer periods. That kind of shocked me. And I was concerned. I was definitely concerned about how Liverpool would fare in some of these big matches without him. But they've stepped up nicely. I mean, I've been more than impressed with how Mane, Salah, and Firmino have played together in Coutinho's absence. I mean, Jordan Henderson too. Milner. I mean, guys have stepped up and played really well without him. Man.
That's a great point, Nasir, and it's a point that I think we need to remember and continue to say amongst ourselves or remind other people. And my opinion was, Onyx knows this. I was never a huge fan of Coutinho. Now I thought he was a good player. I thought he was
He was good on set pieces. He was good on set pieces.
Right. But see, you saying that is very much puts it into perspective for me and hits. Go ahead.
So Coutinho was good at corner kicks.
Yep.
We have Oxford.
Set pieces, yeah.
Set pieces. Can't we just use what's his name? Trent?
Yeah, Trent did good in the Champions League, and he's good. Listen, as much as I love Trent, I think Coutinho is probably better than him in that category. Look, Coutinho is really good at set pieces. We get it. He's good at doing that kind of.
But then again, that's just one thing.
This is true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, but he was really good at that, and so fine, great, whatever.
He was also really good at doing skills, but I didn't really having skills. But to me, that doesn't really help a team unless you're scoring goals or blocking off goals or that. I think making assists. I mean,
yeah. It's the chemistry too. It's how well guys play with each other. I mean, that's important.
Yeah, like how kind of.
Yeah, and so I feel like to me, and I know this isn't usually a popular opinion, but in my opinion, I felt like, and I feel like I can say this now because the team has kind of backed me on this, is that I felt like Coutinho in a way was kind of holding us back. If we really think about Coutinho and this team and how we play, you think about Liverpool plays under Klopp. We press from the front. Our first line of defense is Firmino, kind of by himself, and Salah and Mane. Now, Coutinho had his moments where he added into that and he helped with that, but he wasn't.
Except that time, even that time when he got the hat trick.
Yeah, but he wasn't really that guy where you can hang your hat on. Oh, he's really going to be, important to our press kind of. He wasn't that kind of guy. He was the guy that popped in, and more times than not, I'm gonna use the NBA analogy here. He would pound the ball. He was like your Westbrook of Liverpool. He dribbled the ball too much. He held on, and then he would just, settle for a last minute, last second shot clock kind of shot from distance. And sometimes it went in, most times it didn't. So my thing with him was, a lot of times he got this title of world class, but to me, he never really showed that. And honestly, if you really think about his stats alone, this was his best season, and we had him for half a season. He scored his most goals in this last season we had him. And so part of me was thinking, well, damn, you did all this, and now you're going to jump out on this, but that's okay. If you want to leave us, I'd rather you leave. Just like when Jordan and I wanted to leave Suarez. Anybody who wants to leave Liverpool, as much as I may like them or love them, I'd rather them just be gone.
Emery?
Well, see, he knows I love Emery. Yeah, if Emery really wants to go, then he needs to go. That's what, at the end of the day, he needs to go, because we can get somebody, and we get Naby anyway. So we can get somebody else in, and guys who actually want to play for the team. So
But Emery doesn't. People have been saying that he wants to go, but Emery doesn't really play like he wants to go.
No, I agree.
And you've said that a lot. But
Yeah, he definitely plays like he wants to be at Liverpool. But at the end of the day, I don't know what's in his heart. I don't know what's in his mind. I don't know what his not manager, but his
his agent or his.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. His agent is telling him, because that's the other thing people don't really realize. These players, of course, they have their own mind, but they have all these different agents, these billionaire money making agents who tell them all type of stuff, and it's hard. So, but yeah, I just feel like we've been better off with that. And how lovely is it to? I know for me, almost every game I watch, especially if Americans are doing the broadcast, like in the Champions League game or whatever, you might have like Jacoby Jones, and I love Jacoby Jones, but they find a way to say, if we haven't scored yet, they'll be like, oh, well, this is a game where they could have used Coutinho. And just like, bro, have you seen how we've been playing lately? Have you seen how we clearly don't need Coutinho. But
then again, if say we tied this game, and then someone was just like, "Oh, this is the game when we could have used Coutinho." How do you know that he just wouldn't have? How do you know that he couldn't have held us back from that?
Right. Like going into tomorrow's match, I'm not worried at all about not having Coutinho. That thought hasn't even crossed my mind, really.
See, I like that mentality because I think a lot of us, and I don't knock people for doing it because, listen, we had Coutinho for a while. I get this kind of overwhelming.
To him.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Yeah, exactly. I get that. I get it. I totally do.
I think I have an attachment to Sturridge.
Yeah, you love Sturridge. you might be Sturridge's biggest fan of all time. This guy loves Sturridge. Injured, not injured.
I'm surprised he's still there. Honestly, I'm surprised Sturridge is still there.
Yeah, me too. I think this might be it, though. We'll see. But yeah, enough about Coutinho. What's your idea of? I think most of the goalkeeper and the front three are pretty solid. So I want to ask you. I think Van Dijk is solid. For example, okay, so who do you think Van Dijk's partner should be on tomorrow? Are you feeling Lovren? Are you feeling Madsen?
I actually am feeling Lovren. His last few matches, he's looked pretty impressive to me. I mean, I know he had some rough spots earlier in the year, a couple own goals maybe, and some misplays, but he's looked pretty good to me lately. Huh?
Yeah, Lovren's looked good. I think I want to say that Marino's going to play a low block tomorrow, but part of me thinks maybe he will trick us all and just go attacking. So let's assume that it would be nice because we eat that up. So see, that's the thing. Marino might be boring, but he's no dummy. I've said this several times.
I know that's right. That's true.
And I think he would be crazy to try to open. Now he has the players to do it, which is the more insane thing. I don't know why he wouldn't open up, but that's just Marino. He's done it everywhere he's gone. So anyway, I think he'll play defensively, and if he does, the reason why. So my opinion about Matip is that when we play these low block teams, he's very good at kind of being that point guard player where he can come up and kind of distribute from deep over the top. He's very good on that. But we have, I think Van Dijk is even better, and so I don't think we need two of those players. So that's why I think we need that physical guy because Lovren, say what you want, he's improved. And he is physical. He is physical. I think he definitely can come in and do some good things for us. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with Lovren. I'd be happy with either one of them because I just trust Klopp's decisions. But I think Lovren, I think we both agree on that. And, of course, Van Dijk. Right back, who do you think? Is it Trent or is it Gomez? Who do you like there?
I think, I'd like the youth in Gomez. I'd like to go with Gomez on that.
Okay. That one's been a tough one for me, too. I think Trent lately has been really, really good and probably deserves it. I think Gomez could get it, too. He hasn't played a full 90 minutes in a while, so I'm not sure. But you never know. This is a game where you don't know who's going to start, who isn't going to start. It's one of those games. And I think left back is definitely Robbo, right? Andy Robertson.
Right.
Moreno, it was good to see Moreno. You think Moreno? He's not a big fan of Robo. I don't know why, but
yes, I am.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yes, I am.
I like Moreno. He's just always getting.
I just haven't seen him
Don't talk over people. Go ahead.
I just haven't seen him do his best lately.
Okay.
Okay.
Freddie in the comments says Robo. Yeah. Um. Let's go to midfield because again, these are positions where it's not as given as the goalkeeper in the front three. We know it's Salah, we know it's Firmino, we know it's Mane. So
Right.
give me your three midfield players who you think should be starting tomorrow.
Definitely Jordan Henderson.
Okay.
I'd also like Milner.
Okay.
And even I think Oxlade Chamberlain. I'd like to see him get in there,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's kind of been the three that a lot of us and a lot of our subscribers have been talking about. Genie for me is an unknown. He's had diarrhea recently, if I can say, and I don't know if he's back from that. I don't know, but we are playing at the old toilet, so that kind of goes hand in hand. I don't know if the runs might help him in that game, but so Genie probably won't play. I'm going to assume, and I think you're right. Henderson is our captain. Whether some of us, I think Henderson is still kind of split between the fan base. Some people really love him. Some people
Yeah, he's
can't wait to
very
see him gone.
polarizing. Huh?
Yeah. He's one of those guys where you either love him or you don't like him. It's no real in between. There's no kind of like, oh, he's okay. You either really love Henderson or you think I'm not really that cool with him. But he had a dead leg or whatever recently, and I think Henderson is suffering from. I'm not gonna call it the Sturge syndrome, but he's definitely had a lot of injuries lately that it
Yep.
makes me wonder if he can finish a whole season, which is a problem. And I'm also worried that Adam Lallana might suffer from that same thing.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Um,
ask about him. What are your thoughts on him? I know he's been coming back, making a few
yeah,
appearances.
he's just not ready. And honestly, I think we should really be thankful that we have Oxley Chamberlain because we would really
Yeah.
feel that much. I know I
Uh,
would. I'd be. Go ahead.
Especially on the City game, remember? If it wasn't for his first goal, it would have been 3-3, or maybe we wouldn't have got that.
Well, that's the thing. He's been really to me. Now he hasn't always been consistent, but he's been very kind of underrated in that way because he does pop up in those moments. Now sometimes he goes kind of ghost like Genie can do sometimes where you don't know what he's doing. But even in the last game against Newcastle, I said it earlier today, was that he was the reason why we got that first goal. And he tends to be that guy that comes up in those pivotal moments that we don't always really talk about. But if we look back on the game, we can see how important, how instrumental he was to getting that first goal. We know with Liverpool, usually when we get that first goal,
Yep.
we do pretty well. So
Yeah.
back to Lallana, I feel like I want the best for the dude. I want him to do great, but he's just not there yet. And I honestly I don't know if he will be there anytime soon. Um, he's one of those guys that you maybe can give a few minutes in a game that we were totally in control of. Like maybe they throw him on tomorrow if we're up 2-0, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's not a guy who I think about, and it's so crazy because just last year he was one of our most important players, and you would think
Yeah.
he was
That's true.
one of the first names in the starting 11. So what a difference, another year makes. I know he was injured, but anyway, I think there's a long recovery process for Lallana to come back and be anywhere near what he was before. Um,
I mean,
I
yeah.
think,
Look at Danny Ings. I mean, look at him. He's had some bad injuries, and it's taken him some
oh
time to get
Lord,
back.
yeah, and he's another guy which I'm just so thankful because again, knock on wood, let's touch all kind of wood that we have in here next to us. Because if Firmino
That's
gets
such a
hurt,
weird saying.
it is kind of. But if there's no Firmino, if I don't think anyone feels that comfortable with Ings or Solanke coming in. So that could
I
be
feel
No.
that could be
comfortable
very
with
troubling.
Solanke.
You feel comfortable with Solanke? Yeah, I don't feel comfortable with any of them. But that's the choice we made, and I'm behind it. I'm curious about Origi. I'm curious why we don't have him right now because I feel like he could
Yeah.
have come in and did a job here or there. You know what I mean? Um,
I miss Origi.
yeah, but
Yeah.
you
I
know,
know. He was a good player.
yeah, he was. He definitely
Was
well with us he was. Yeah. I haven't really kept tabs on him. I think he's been doing okay in the Bundesliga. I don't know exactly his stats or anything, but I think he's been scoring here and there. So he's been doing okay. So to end this off, and again, thanks again, Nasir. I'm so
Oh,
happy
no
that you were able
problem.
to. And now that I know
Appreciate
that
the
I can
invite.
be,
Yeah.
now that I know that
I'm
I can
down to come
count on
back
you,
on. Huh?
Yeah, now that I know that I can count on you, I would definitely be having you back. This is great. This
Definitely.
is great.
Appreciate it.
But I want to end it with this. He's been getting all the hype and all the love from everybody, our fans, neutrals, fans of other teams. Um, Mo Salah. I'm. Do you think what Mo Salah is doing can continue? Do you think there's longevity in it? Do you think that it's something that we need to be looking for, necessarily actively looking for someone to back him up in the summer? Do you think this is something that will continue to go? Because it seems like now almost every game you can assume he'll be one of the goal scorers, if not the goal scorer that wins the game. What's your opinion about Mo Salah as far as moving forward?
I mean, I definitely like him, but I think it's almost like lightning in a pan or lightning in a bottle there. It's kind of like Leicester City, how they caught fire and just were on a magical run. I think he's on a great run, a great season, but I'm not sure he comes back next year and does this again. I'm not sure he can do that again next year. I think teams might be ready for him. They're going to play him differently. They're going to have tape on him, and it's just going to be a different season. I mean, I hope he does, but I wouldn't count on a 30-goal season again.
Yeah, that's very honest, and I'd have to agree. While I think at least we have 7 games left in the Premier League, I think it definitely will continue this season because there's been so many times where it couldn't have happened, but he keeps doing it. He
I
just
know.
keeps. I mean, this is insane. He keeps doing it. So who am I to think, oh, this is not going to last? It's been lasting. You know what I mean? He's been doing this, so it's not like.
And he's scored in all different kinds of ways too. He's scored up close.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean, on the go. I mean, he's unbelievable. He's pure magic.
Pure magic, yeah, and it's crazy. It's crazy, and I think for this season at least, I just don't see it stopping. And while you make a good point about the footage and tape that people will watch, because surely they're doing it, and we've seen teams play double fullbacks just to try to stop him, they still couldn't do it. Right. So, I mean, he's playing against guys that are almost twice his size, twice his weight, and still muscling them off. If you think about the game against Leicester, they got a big dude back there. I think Maguire, they got from Hull City. He's huge. And twice, Salah was able to just kind of muscle him and get the goal. So,
yeah,
it's you can do whatever you want against him, and he's one of those dudes that I think he has something to prove.
Yeah,
I think he wants to prove that he belongs in this league. He didn't have a great situation at Chelsea. We know what Mourinho does. He goes for these big names, and he's not really into nurturing young players, really. Not like Klopp is anyway. And so I don't think much of us should be surprised at what happened with Salah at Chelsea. But if you really watched his progression, he went to Fiorentina in the Serie A, did really well. Went to Roma, did really well. And now it's kind of full circle, and he's showing everything he has at Liverpool and more. I remember when he came in, people were kind of questioning, like, this is who we're buying? Why? But they did the same thing with Mane. When Mane came in, nobody was really excited about it. But when they saw him play, they were thinking, oh, this is a steal. Whatever we pay for him, this is a steal. So I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I think we definitely need to be looking for not replacement necessarily, but just guys that can fit that same position, because we cannot run Firmino and Salah and Mane into the ground every season.
Right.
They need their rest. Right now, we got to play them because more so out of just desperation, because we don't really have anybody on the bench in those positions. So we got to play them, and thankfully
they've been pretty healthy. I mean,
yeah. I mean, Firmino, I don't even remember the last time he was hurt for Liverpool. It's been a while. And even if he comes back pretty soon, I think. So we're blessed with that. Let me read some of these comments real quick. Origi is not producing in the Bundesliga. His goal-to-minute ratio has been awful, even though he gets decent minutes at Wolfsburg. Okay, see, I didn't know that. I know he had scored some. I didn't know his. That's my man Freddie from West Coast, California. Thank you, Freddie, for leaving that comment. But yeah, I'm just proud of this team, and it really feels good, like you said earlier in the chat.
Can Coutinho be the only option?
Okay, you're reading the ones that they already put earlier. But so I forget what I was gonna say. Jesus. Origi. Yeah. Anyway, it feels good. Oh, you said earlier that you don't doubt the team going into games, where I think at one point we probably did. Maybe early Klopp, late Brendan Rodgers. There was this kind of feeling of just you didn't know. In every game, it was like, what's going to happen. But these games now, even when we're playing against low block teams, sure, there's that anxiety and it's like, when are we going to score? But once we do it, you feel like, okay, Liverpool are going to pull this through. No more of the
they're not
days
going to
of us
blow it.
thinking,
They're not going to blow it. They're not going to
yeah.
dwindle
No,
away.
no more. Yeah, no more days of like feeling like Sevilla, where we're gonna be up 3-0 and a team's gonna come back to tie it or beat us. At least I don't, and I feel like you don't as well. So
No.
I think Van Dijk has definitely helped just with the confidence of the whole back four, really, the goalkeeper, himself, his center back partner, the fullback. I mean, everybody's kind of circled around that positivity and that confidence from Van Dijk, and it's just gone through the whole team. So without Coutinho, people doubted us. You know what I mean? Getting Van Dijk, people clowned us about paying 75 million, and we're right now sitting in a really good place in the league, and also the quarterfinals of the Champions League. That's big.
Yeah, that's
That is
impressive.
really big, and I have to tell myself that sometimes, like we're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I mean, it's
been a long
unbelievable.
time. It's been a long time.
And people feel like it's a joke to think we can win this, but I feel like why not? Why not?
Exactly.
I feel like Mane and Lovren have come out and said that we can beat anybody in the country, in Europe, in the world, and I agree with them. And that's not a cocky thing. It's just them being confident and knowing under this manager that they believe in each other. No Coutinho, and we're just continuing to I think prove people wrong. Go ahead.
I wasn't here for Brendan Rodgers. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, but he had Sturridge at his full. What place did we end up? Do you remember what place we ended up?
We ended up. His best season was when we ended up second, and we just lost out to City. We ended up second. We had Sturridge, Suarez.
Exactly.
Sterling.
You have Sturridge on his full strength. Suarez and who else do we have?
Steven Gerrard. Sterling. Yeah. Coutinho. We had a lot of players that year.
Yeah, that was a fun team.
But you think about the last time we won the Champions League, that wasn't an amazing team. But we ended up doing what we had to do, getting to the final, and upsetting probably one of the best teams in Europe at the time. So, it's all in our hands. And as long as we can continue to stick together, play for each other, enjoy our football, I think we'll be fine. Give me a score prediction, Nasir.
I'm going to go with 3-1 Liverpool. I think Liverpool jumps out early, 2-0. United gets one back, and then Liverpool finishes them off 3-1.
Okay. And you?
2-0.
2-0. Who are your goal scorers, Nasir?
I got Mane getting a brace, and I got Salah picking up one.
I love it. We need Mane to get some more goals. I love that. What's yours?
Mane, Salah. If Mane or Salah doesn't score, Virgil.
Okay. Oh, you think Virgil from like a set piece?
Yeah.
All right. Nasir, thanks a lot. Go ahead.
Before you go, Nasir, I want to ask you, which midfielder would you get? And if it's on a rival team, pretend like they're not on a rival team.
Ooh.
Why did you say what you want to say? So he likes Ghana Gay from Everton. That's why he said that.
Okay, why is that?
And I'm always giving him a hard time about it because I'm like, that's a rival team. We don't. And plus, he just signed a new contract, so we don't want to do that. But he asked you, so is there any midfielder out there that you would think we would get?
And if it's on a rival team, pretend like it's not.
I mean, I would probably just take currently a healthy Jordan Henderson. Give me a healthy Jordan Henderson and let me be happy with that.
Yeah, with a healthy one, I'd be happy too. But not this week to week, I don't know, and dead leg. This foot issue he has. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of him, but a healthy Henderson, honestly, I would take that. I would take that. I wouldn't be mad. At least as a role player. Maybe not starting every game, but I would definitely take that. I'm sure you're gonna watch the game. We'll be in touch with you, texting you. But
okay. Right on.
If you got time, man, we'd love to have you back on after the game. If you got time.
Yeah. We'll see what time I get back home. I'm gonna go watch it with Dallas.
You're going out. Oh, you going out to the courthouse?
Social.
Okay.
Courthouse Social, going to peep it, and early time. I mean, it's gonna be fun, so should be a good time. And I'd like to hop back on and chat post game victory.
I love it. Thank you. I love you saying that. Yes. Put it out there. Put it out optimistic. Look, man, Nasir, much love, man. Thank you so much for making time for us, man. We really appreciate that. And hopefully tomorrow we're in good spirits, and we'll talk to you soon, man.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you for having me.
All right. See you later, bro.
All right. Take care.